Hi, this is Don Carter. What is enabling? Enabling behavior is born out of our instinct for love. It's only natural to want to help someone we love. But when it comes to certain problems, helping is like throwing a match on a pool of gasoline. What's the definition of enabling? In the true sense of the word, to enable is to supply with the means, knowledge, or opportunity to be or do something. To make something feasible or possible. In its true sense, then, enabling behavior means something positive. It's our natural instinct to reach out and help someone we love when they are down or having problems. However, when we apply it to certain problems in living, such as addiction, chronic financial trouble, codependency, certain forms of chronic depression, and other problems, enabling behaviors can have a reverse effect of what is intended. Here are some examples of enabling behavior. Repeatedly bailing them out of jail, of financial problems, other tight spots they get themselves into. Giving them one more chance, then another, and another, and another. Ignoring the problem because they get defensive when you bring it up, or your hope is that it will magically disappear or go away. Joining them in the behavior. Even when you know that they have a problem, joining them in that problem, like drinking or gambling or other addictive behavior. Joining them in blaming others for their feelings, for their problems, for their misfortunes. Accepting their justifications, excuses, and rationalizations. Oh, I'm destroying my life with alcohol because I'm depressed. Avoiding problems. Keeping the peace, believing a lack of conflict will help. Doing things for them that they should be able to do for themselves. Softening or removing the natural consequences for their problem behavior. Trying to fix them or their problem. Repeatedly coming to the rescue. Trying to control them or their problem. Enabling is the addiction of the codependent. When we find it very difficult, if not impossible, to stop enabling behavior, then it's time to look at the possibility of being addicted to the outside. Let's compare the stages of codependency, also known as addiction to the outside of self, and how these stages parallel the stages of addiction. With codependency, there's a need for an external focus, along with other lessons that we learn in childhood when growing up in a less than nurturing family. These lessons prepare a person for addiction to enabling behavior. Let's take a look at how the stages of alcoholism match the stages of codependency. Early stage of codependency is marked by relief using or enabling. Relief using of comfort eating or spending or working too much or helping someone with their problems in order to avoid our own. Increase in tolerance for the behaviors of the other person. Preoccupation, what are they doing now, and I wonder what they're getting into. Loss of control over emotions or over behavior. Excessive eating, yelling at the kids, taking it out on other people. Continued use of enabling behavior despite serious negative consequences and one broken promise after another. The consequences are to yourself as well as to them. Okay, middle or crucial stages. In codependency, just as in other parts of addiction, family problems exist. There's the drama triangle, or a variation of it that I like to call the punishment-forgiveness cycle. Social problems, embarrassment, avoiding parties where there may be too much temptation for your partner. Emotional problems, depression, anxiety, chronic stress, financial problems, legal problems, domestic disturbances. Occupational or academic problems, loss of concentration due to preoccupation with the problem person or persons. And finally, the late or chronic stage of addiction to codependency, drugs, alcohol, sex, gambling, you name it. In all addictions, there is physical deterioration in the late stages. In the case of codependency, it might take the form of headaches, stomach problems, stress disorders such as fibromyalgia, chronic fatigue, adrenal exhaustion. In the late stage of codependency, there are serious physical withdrawal syndrome. That's evidenced by the inability to stay away even after a breakup or a separation in which you vowed never to go back. Obsession, increasing preoccupation until it takes the majority of your thoughts. Loss of social supports, stop seeing friends, begin to isolate. Other people or family members may just give up trying to get through to help you see what's going on. Collapse of the alibi system. You can no longer make excuses for yourself or that problem person. Then there may even be drinking or using prescription meds or eating too much or working too much and developing other side addictions to keep functioning or feeling normal, to keep that external focus. Ultimately, even with codependency, there can become periods of hopelessness and despair, and even an untimely death, accident due to preoccupation or exhaustion, suicide, illnesses secondary to codependence, any number of things. So you can see from this presentation that the symptoms of addiction and the symptoms of codependency are almost identical. You can also see why they call codependency and addiction a family disease. Everybody in the family gets sucked into it, trying to control the addiction one way or another. Be sure to check out my Universal Step 1 here at Serenity Cafe Recovery Center. It's designed to address any addiction we face, including codependency. But don't fill it out until you're ready. It might be a waste of time. It takes rigorous honesty and a strong desire to give up our old ways. On the first page of this Universal Step 1, I've included a list of links to click for the websites of various 12-step recovery groups. The three most relevant for healing codependency are Codependence Anonymous, Al-Anon, and Adult Children of Alcoholism and Other Dysfunctional Families. There you can find out more about their programs and order literature from them to begin your own journey in recovery. Thanks for listening. I hope this presentation has been helpful.